And welcome back to Barnwell, South Carolina, WJBF Game Night Live. Aiken taking on Barnwell. A beautiful Friday night for football, joined alongside Ryan Bowers, former Greenbrier Wolfpack defensive back extraordinaire. Again, gone on to play collegiately and professionally, so Ryan's going to be up here with me kind of breaking down the action. And Ryan, both of these teams have really, looking at the rosters, quite a few athletes on the field, not only in the skill position, but also at the line of scrimmage as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing 77. We're going to talk more about these names, but 77 and 75 go against each other tonight.
Looks like Bryson, Carolina, going to return the ball to the right side against that Warhorse kickoff team up near the 20-yard line. The senior strong safety, return man for Aiken. And yeah, we talked about a lot of skill players throughout the area, but I'm telling you, one of the best ones, Bryson Jones, the quarterback senior from Aiken, just an all-around athlete, leading the Hornets. Many scoring drives, not only good passing the ball, but good at running the ball as well, and he is a guy to keep your eye on this evening in this game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him move around tonight.
He is a guy that has lit up some scoreboards so far early in this year. Hornets elect to run the ball towards the middle of the field there. Get stopped about the 20, maybe 1 or 2 yards. Running back there. And again, Ryan, just kind of break down, you know, some quarterbacks are dual threat, but we both know some of them are just really good at running the ball. Some of them are really good at passing. Talk about how difficult it is to stop someone that's a dual threat quarterback. As we talk about it, they drop the ball, and Barnwell picks up the ball, and we'll see. Actually spiked the ball at the end of the play there. We'll try to get the name for you. That was actually Javante Ross landed on the fumble. And again, last week, we talked about it, North Augusta taking on Aiken. Aiken looked like they were going to be able to drive and put some more points on the board and maybe make a game of it. A fairly close game. They had a fumble of a similar kind, and that's what cost them the game. North Augusta actually went down and scored a touchdown.
One of the things you talk about all week is we want to win the turnover battle, and already they're down one there at Aiken.
Quarterback Pete Elmore acts like he's going to hand it. Keeps it himself, cuts around to the outside. It looks like he picks up a first down inside the 10, looking to be right along the 5-yard line. Got a flag on the play. Again, Pete Elmore, the sophomore quarterback for Barnwell.
We remember when we were coming up, it was rare to have that running quarterback style offense, and now it's pretty much the norm.
Yeah, it becomes a lot of times you would put your best athlete maybe on defense at defensive back position just because they can kind of keep their eye on the entire field. But like you said, as the penalty going against Barnwell, now with how many different offensive packages there are, it's so much easier many think to throw the football or get the football out that you can kind of still put your best athlete at quarterback and pick up some yards. So the penalty marches Barnwell back. And again, Aiken on their first drive, fumbling the ball on the handoff. Barnwell jumping all over it and getting excellent field position just outside the 20. As you see Elmore run around to the right, looks like he's going to throw the ball to the right side. Completed pass. And it looks like that's to William Barnes, the senior receiver.
I'm taking a look at number 77 there, Marcus McKeithen at looks like right tackle, washing his guy down, allowing him to boot out to the right.
Yeah, you
look at the size of that
look
kid.
At him. I mean, that's something when you have to widen the camera angle to get all of him. Again, 6'5", 310 pounds. Ryan, you were definitely asking about him before the game. He's the kind of guy you walk on the field and you see him and you automatically want to look at the roster sheet and see who he is. Mikhail Lee runs the ball up the middle. Another sophomore at the skill position for Barnwell. Again, some young guys in the backfield for the Warhorses, but team leaning on them as you see a starting lineup for the Barnwell Warhorses. Elmore, Lee at the quarterback and running back position. Peoples, Jacobs, Frazier, and Bostic. And then Burdette, Carter, Anderson, Hare, McKeithen, as Ryan talked about earlier. And then Toole, the kicker. As you see, they try to run the ball up the middle again and still getting pretty good yards right up the middle. Looks like about 3 yards, just short of the goal line.
2 plays in a row. He starts off to the left and finds his way right behind McKeithen.
Yeah, the first play, they ran to the left side, and like you said, McKeithen, that right tackle. But since then, it looks like they've leaned towards the right, and for good reason. You see Aiken's defensive starting lineup: Flanders, Sanders, Carolina, also a kick returner for Aiken, Tyler, and then Schuler, Prince, Rouse, Thomas, and then Pollard punting the ball for the Hornets. And you got another fumble on the ground. We'll see who came up with it. Looks like Barnwell.
Lucky to get that one back.
Lee, and again, Ryan, towards, about 4 games by and large under every team's belt. Seems kind of uncharacteristic this far into the season. It seems like that's an early season type, those kind of miscues. Third down, and only a couple of yards for Barnwell, who started this drive with terrific field position after the Hornet fumble. We'll see Elmore. Looks like he hands it back off to Lee. We'll see if he's able to get in. No signal yet. I don't believe they're going to give it to him. Looks like
he's down on the half-yard line.
And now it's 4th down. And it's pretty early in the game, but I think this is a fairly obvious Ken Nugent, one call, that's all. What do you think is going to happen here, Ryan? What do you think they're going to go with here, the War Horses?
Pretty sure they're going to run the ball right behind 7-7 right here.
Right tackle on the right side there.
Spread everything out.
We'll see. Elmore elects to keep it himself.
Like
pushes, and he gets in for the touchdown. Pete Elmore on the quarterback sneak. 4th down in inches. The sophomore quarterback gets into the end zone for a touchdown for Barnwell.
You don't want to beat a dead horse, but 7-7, clearly manhandling guys. I'd like to see him bump 7-5 over.
Yes,
sit in that gap.
Yeah, 75 for Aiken, another large fellow, as you saw in the coin toss.
Yeah, Austin
Schofield. Plenty of size on him as well, and the kick is up and good, and Barnwell will take a 7-0 lead early in this game. 8:30 left here in the first quarter. Game Night Live brought to you by WJBF Sports. We'll return in just a moment. And welcome back to Barnwell High School, WJBF Game Night Live. The War Horses already taken a 7-0 lead. 8:30 left in the first quarter. Taking on the Aiken Hornets. Another exciting Friday night for some football action, and for those of you paying attention to the storms around Charleston, for a large period of today, didn't know if this game was going to be able to be played due to a power outage, not only in Barnwell but also in Allendale County, some other counties scattered throughout South Carolina, but able to get the power turned on just in time for some Friday night football. Kickoff goes to the right side. Looks like Carolina again is going to be able to run the ball up the middle. Loses a step, but gets his feet back under him and gets all the way past the 50-yard line.
Well, our outside guy did not lose contain, but he lost some yards.
Yeah, and just the first time Carolina tried to run it up the field, again, got stuffed a little bit and really buried deep in their own territory. But right there, able to break through, and that's, like you said, it seems like that's the scary area of 2 guys miss a tackle on a kickoff. Again, there's not many guys behind them.
A lot of these teams choose to play 2/3 of the field and squeeze their kickoff team all the way down, but you got to hold contain.
And as you see us talk about early in this game, one of the most talented players in the CSRA, Bryson Jones, keeps it himself and runs all the way for a touchdown. Again, before we can almost even reset, Bryson Jones shows why he's one of the top athletes within the area on that long touchdown scamper.
Great run by Jones, but there's some poor tackling there.
Yeah, it looked like he ran through a lot of Barnwell defenders.
And one of the things, you look at guys missing tackles like that, and it's really their footwork more so. They're just lunging for the tackle rather than being patient.
You see the point after attempt, and it's good. Bryson Jones with a little under a 50-yard run. First play goes for a touchdown, and we're tied at 7 here in Barnwell. Just an unbelievable play. Again, by the time it seemed like Barnwell was done celebrating their touchdown, Aiken already has one themselves.
Great run by Jones.
And just hearing about it, in terms of tackling and stuff like that during the week, he seems like a player that you have to just beat into your defense. And you have to make those tackles, because he'll kill you if you don't.
Yeah, you don't want to take away from Jones. I mean, Jones got great footwork, obviously, a very elusive ball carrier, but just a little bit more patience, just keeping your head up. Letting them come to you rather than lunging early.
Absolutely. I want to remind the folks at home, McDonald's has a great deal for you. After the game, enjoy a 10-piece McDonald's Famous McNuggets for only $1.99. McDonald's. I'm loving it. In 7-7, both these teams 2-2 coming in on the year.
Now you take a look at this kickoff team. They're choosing to cover the entire field rather than squeeze down.
Yeah, and a lot of
Barnwell was doing.
Yeah, and much like it seems in offensive plays where you have certain blocking schemes, the same goes for special teams. You have certain guys you want to be able to get on a certain edge. If you have it seems like a speedy guy run. A lot of times you'll see guys run across the field to then try to run straight ahead. But if they see it on tape, they go with it. See Aiken kick it to the left side. It's going to be caught around the 30-yard line and taken up past the 40. Again, really good field position for Barnwell's DJ Peoples, another sophomore on the return.
Speaking of sophomores, that 77 we were talking about, he's a sophomore, a big sophomore.
That's a very large sophomore. Again, so that, you're talking 4 players just that we've randomly called out just by the plays that they've made so far in this game. All of them sophomores. Quarterback, the running back, again, the super talented right tackle, and then the return man, DJ Peoples. And again, Barnwell with a lot of good history. You talk about McKeithen, and he certainly looks like somebody that's going to be able to identify where he wants to go and make that choice. A lot of folks might remember in the late 80s, Shelly Hammond's one of the best recruits really in the Augusta area of all time. I know Ashley Brown's talked a lot about him when he was coming up. It seemed like each and every week he was all over the newspaper. A parade All-American. Again, arguably the biggest recruit, went on to play at Penn State. You see Elmore roll to the left side and make the pass, and the pass is completed to 16, DJ Peoples. So outside of the fumble, Ryan, Barnwell, again, for as electrifying as Aiken's offense was in the one-play, one-score drive, for Barnwell, they seem to have a little balanced attack going. Able to run the ball up the middle and then throw it to either side. And, again, a lot of times with a big stud like McKeithen on the right side, you might try to always depend on him, but they've shown that they've not really afraid to go to either side. Elmore elects to keep it himself, tries to run it up the middle, gets a few yards.
Good wrap-up tackle by the end.
Gets to about maybe a yard or two. It's going to be third down and a long one, it looks like. Not able to get past the 50-yard line. In WJBF Game Night Live in Barnwell, South Carolina. Aiken in town to take on the War Horses, and we get a big third down here from Elmore. He hands it off to Lee up the middle. Lee just runs forward and gets the first down. Runs through the would-be tackler in Trayton Taylor.
We've seen the ball run probably about 85% to the right at this point.
Yeah, and
quarterback's kept it to the left.
He has. It seems like they almost like to let Lee try to run in the middle and then merge to the right. And if Elmore wants to keep it, if it's wide open, he pulls it himself and runs along the left. Again, like you said, a lot of talented sophomores. on this Barnwell team. Elmore drops back to pass. Another lengthy pass play. Tries to drop it in over the top of Aiken. Not able to get a completion, but maybe more importantly, doesn't turn the ball over. Fairly dangerous pass there with number 31, DeAndre Schuler.
Just getting it over the heads of two defenders.
And a good-looking pass. You know, if you're going to miss, again, he missed the right way. But two Aiken defenders, one receiver. Again, you got to be quite the quarterback to make that work. Second down for the War Horses.
Pete Elmore, he's just a sophomore at quarterback, so he'll be around for another couple of years.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys that are going to be contributing to the team. Again, they had one of the top running backs in the area, Shakur Chisholm, now Williston Elko had a big game last week. As you see Lee catch the pass from Elmore to the right side. Almost gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but
it's a great finish by Kier Thomas Fuel.
And a good tackle. Good tackling from Aiken there as they get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and about 10. And if you're able to check out the size of that Aiken defensive line, again, for a high school, that's a lot of beef. Up front, those are some big fellas on the defensive line for Aiken. Elmore passes it to the left, in and out of the hands of Barnes.
Nice little tunnel screen. Looked like they could have got maybe 5 yards out of it.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be what any offensive coach wants, a one-on-one with a receiver and a defensive back, and Barnes not able to hang on to it. Bring up a punting down for Barnwell. And Nathan Toole going to punt the ball here at about the 47-yard line. Punts away, good little punt. It's caught around the 10-yard line. Makes a move, gets to the outside, and
really good coverage.
Goes down.
See the way they pin him to the sideline, using the sideline as another defender.
Yeah, that's one of the
option.
Yeah, it's a boundary. It's as good as a defender. Again, they never lose a battle. They've never got beaten in coverage, as Carolina right there found out as he tried to get a couple of yards after catching the pass. Want to remind the folks you can watch the game live on your smartphone, see replays, watch play-by-play broadcasts from WJBF TV, and it's all free from WJBF News Channel 6. Just go to the App Store on your smartphone, download the WJBF High School Sports app, and click on Game Night Live. Aiken run the ball up the middle there.
Helmet off.
Yeah, well, that's always
Speaking of,
a very tense moment.
Seen the news with these football players? The guy rips his helmet off. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, it's a testy game.
You know, we always did things, on the bottom of the pile. You might pinch a guy, right?
Maybe you did. I was a gentleman.
You didn't do any of that. Huh?
I'm a gentleman. Gentleman and a scholar, I might add. Yeah, but a lot of news worthy items in terms of high school football. This year, it seems like so early in the season. As Bryson Jones was ready to take the snap, looks like we're going to have a...
And you got to think, is this something that's just now happening like it's an epidemic around the country? Or is it something that smartphones, everybody's got a smartphone, they're getting pictures of things. And, once it happens once, you're looking for more and more of those encounters.
Looks like it's going to be second down for Aiken. Bryson Jones collects the snap, hands it back off to the running back Sanders, able to get a few. He's up around the first down. Looks like he might be right there on it. I believe he's going to pick it up. Brayton Sanders, the junior running back. Again, Bryson Jones, the talented senior quarterback. You wouldn't send your baby to college, so why would you take them to an adult ER? Take the care at doctors' hospitals, kid-friendly ER. It's fast, convenient, and specializes in kids. Again, Jones first down, elects to keep it himself. A little shimmy and shake on the outside. Again, carrying defenders it looked like a full 5 yards after he made contact. Bryson Jones showing a little shake and bake there, and also the power at the end of the run.
53, Burdette doing a great job of just holding on.
Again, it's not something that necessarily looks great on tape, but he didn't get another touchdown.
All that grip strength work you do in the offseason, farmers carries.
It pays off. It all pays off, right? That's what you always preaching.
That's right.
Every rep counts.
Every rep counts.
And it looks like Barnwell
doing a great job with the snap count here.
Looks like they're bringing the
doing.
entire defense. As you see the entire defense up around the line. Looked like Aiken was going to hike the ball, and Barnwell just crowded the defensive line. Again, no safety over the top for Jones. It looks like they changed it to a pass play, and they throw it up. And it is incomplete.
In and out of the hands.
And no flag. Looked like it was... might have had an argument, but
it's Terrence Morris.
Referee elects to not throw the flag. And again, Aiken, it looked like change out of that play there, Ryan, to throw a pass when they saw the Barnwell defenders up near the line of scrimmage.
He may have contacted him slightly early, but I think that Terrence will watch the film and think, man, I could have had that one.
Yeah, even with replay, it's almost, you hear a lot with baseball of it's kind of a judgment call. Even a receiver against a DB, it seems like each one, even though you can watch it on replay and you have the answer, it's still a judgment call in the moment, it seems like. And more times than not, they get it right, I believe. Jones trying to run the ball out of the backfield.
Look at Marcus McKeithen, 7'7" with the grip strength.
Yeah, McKeithen, if he's good enough to dominate the offensive line,
you got to think his wingspan is.
I got to think he's pretty good on the defensive line as well. And you saw right there taking down Jones in the backfield for a loss. Now 3rd and long, about 3rd and 11 for the Hornets.
3rd down, 11 yards, 38-yard line.
Little bunch formation to the right. Jones sprints out to the right. Tries to find a receiver. Connects with one and gets the first down. Looks like that's going to be Quamaine Simpkins. The senior receiver, free safety.
Good throw on the run. Good throw.
And a good looking routes from the Hornets there. Again, 3rd and 11. Didn't know with all that success running the ball earlier in the game, you thought, you think surely it's a passing down, but again, they run it so well, it might be an option down for them. Jones back in the shotgun. Hands it off to Sanders back up the middle. Looks like, again, McKeithen. I think you're going to see a lot of him around each and every tackle when he's out there on defense. You look at Aiken's offense. You got Green, Morris, Simpkins, as we talked about earlier, Jones, Sanders, and Gray.
The thing about McKeithen, I mean, it looks like number 4, Avery Brown, was the one in on the tackle, but he got covered up by McKeithen.
And then Stroman, Freeman, and Schofield on the offensive line for Aiken. And Aiken doing what I'm sure used to drive you crazy, Ryan, acting like they're going to run a play just to see what the defense is going to do and then change the play up. Jones elects to keep it, runs up the middle. He had a seam, had to break one tackle, and he did just that. He's going to run for another touchdown. This one is going to be a 45-yard touchdown. Again, he already has about a 48-yard touchdown on the first play of the game, and now he adds a 45-yarder, another long run for them.
Well, it's what's so dangerous about bringing everybody up into the box is that if you get one seam, you see what happens.
Yeah, it seems like the trade-off is you have more players near the line of scrimmage, but again, you don't have those levels that you see a lot, which a lot of times are what saves some of those touchdowns.
And that's what makes it so dangerous to have a running quarterback. If you got a passing quarterback, you're blitzing to stop the run and blitzing to put pressure on a guy, but you got 2 running backs in the backfield now.
As we wait on the point after attempt from Aiken. 1:41 left in the first quarter. And the kick is up, but it goes through. So 14-7, the Aiken Hornets leading the Barnwell Warhorses. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, more football action. WJBF News Channel 6. WJBF Game Night Live. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back, WJBF Game Night live in Barnwell, South Carolina. Aiken leading the Warhorses 14-7. Got a drive summary coming up for you here in just one moment. Another long touchdown run from Bryson Jones, but for now they try to kick the ball off to the left side and it goes out of bounds, which you never want to see. Again, even if you're trying to kick it in a certain direction, again, you give your opponent great field position. But that last drive, Ryan, it looked a little bit different than the first, but it looked like it ended the same way.
Yeah, great drive after a good kickoff return. 8 plays, 87 yards, took about 3 minutes, 30 seconds off the clock. But they mixed it up, passing.
Yeah, they looked fairly comfortable passing the ball when they had to on a long 3rd and 11. They picked it up and then ended the same way with Bryson Jones with a long touchdown run. His first one about 48 yards, the second one about 45 yards. And for Barnwell, doing a good job the second time, but again, just missing that one key tackle, and that was all she wrote as Jones off to the races. Did you see Elmore back for Barnwell? He wants to throw it over the top and overthrows his receiver.
Looks like he had a man open.
Yeah, he did. Keyshawn Jenkins had his man beat, just slightly overthrown. Again, the first real deep throw for
and that's what happens.
Barnwell.
You get all those little short, dinky throws. Quarterback keeper,
Yeah.
handoff. Next thing you know, guys are starting to bite up.
Well, from a defensive standpoint, we know a lot of quarterbacks like to throw short passes to get in the rhythm of the game and kind of get the excitement out. For defensive back-wise, what makes you feel comfortable in terms of what kind of plays the offense running? Is it necessarily running plays where you just feel more comfortable in getting a hit on somebody or something like that?
Personally, I liked it when they threw it to me, like right to me.
Right to you, yeah. Isn't that
Those are the ones I feel most comfortable
it's weird
with,
how much you enjoyed those. I find that really hard to believe.
It's tough when a team runs a lot. You saw Barnwell run the tunnel screen earlier, and some gimmick plays.
Yeah.
A lot of the options, the read option, you end up wanting to bite. And they kind of lull you to sleep with the short throws. The next thing you know, a guy sprints past you.
And the penalty declined, so a 3rd down and looks like right at that's about 15 to 16 yards. Elmore runs out to the left, just going to try to pick up what he can, and he gets back past the original line of scrimmage, but not sure if it's going to be enough for them to try to run another offensive play. Looks like they're going to bring Toole out to try to punt it away back to Aiken.
It's kind of a 31 Dondre Schuler on that play. Jumping at the pass fake. Always keep your feet on the ground and moving.
Well, but that's not what you see in the highlights, Ryan. Nobody gets any great interceptions. You got to jump. But a good job on the back end by Aiken on the some call it a coverage sack, in which you really have the receivers covered. The punt dropped, but picked right back up by Carolina. Another good punt. And Aiken is going to start this drive at about the 25, so another good punt from Toole. And a good job on the punt defense team there of getting the sure tackle and not letting them get any extra yards.
I'll tell you, one of the blessings this year of high school football has been the weather. You haven't had to have those hot games.
It has seemed,
it's been cooler.
Right. In terms of overall extremely cool days, maybe not so much, but I agree with you there. I haven't really even thought about it. No ridiculously hot football games that we've been used to in the past.
Those first 2, 3, 4 games were just so hot, you had to get acclimated. And we had a hot summer. It just
and it's a blessing to us. They make us wear suits to do these games. I mean, it's
this spacious room that we're sitting in right now.
It's been tremendous. Getting the break from the weather.
You guys at home can't see us, but Matt and I are shoulder to shoulder,
and we're wearing
and shoulder to wall.
Yeah. And our bow ties. It's Friday night, so you know what that means. 2nd down in about 8. Bryson Jones again, 2 huge plays for Aiken.
Oh.
And tries to throw it to the flat, but it looked like the pass didn't necessarily come off his hand all that great. It looked like it was sort of diving down as soon as it left his hands. Trying to throw it to Simpkins there.
It's tough on Simpkins to be drawn back towards the line of scrimmage to make the catch. You got to make it, but you are going into enemy territory.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one of those where
those make highlight films
you
too.
find out who has the best relationship with their quarterback in terms of how he throws them the ball in situations like that, because man, does that hurt. Speaking from experience. Jones back, 3rd down and 8 still to go. Has to bubble it around the right side. Tries to throw it up, in a good play by Barnes on the defending the pass there. Looked like he hit the receiver right as he was at the apex of his jump, trying to maybe tip the ball to himself, a little overthrown, but a good play by Barnes. And Barnwell with a solid stop of Aiken. They're going to get the ball back with the incomplete pass. We have about 10 seconds left in the first quarter. And it looks like number 8, Dante Tyler, going to return the ball for, or I'm sorry, scratch that. Arkeem Jacobs
low kick.
Return the ball for Barnwell. He lets it bounce a few times and just elects to get away from it. It's going to be down a little past about the 28-yard line. And with them, WJBF Game Night Live. Aiken leading Barnwell 14-7 here in Barnwell, South Carolina. We'll be back right after this.